you from?
I'm from Washington, Iowa. But yeah, thanks everyone for being here. I'm Mitchell Hora, and I'm the founder and CEO of Continuum Ag. Super pumped for the day. It's gonna be awesome. I'll talk to you.
Like Mitchell Hora's sister?
Mitchell Hora's sister.
Do you claim him?
I guess.
Let me ask you something. Who was the good one?
Okay, so back to being able to find your breakout sessions.
Well, at least she's on this.
Yeah, my name is Carolyn King. I'm an agronomist for Continuum Ag. I just started in January. It's been a very fast 6 months of just learning and going and figuring it all out, but it's awesome. So all your topsoil needs, I'm your gal.
Yeah, she is. She will make sure that we get it done. So
we really couldn't say any like that is it. You are the topsoil queen, and we will give you all the props for that forever.
I think we could drop the mic at this point because she does so much. Aaron, we're gonna let you get back at it. I know you're really busy. Thank you.
Go to the technology breakout up north. If you have a yellow sticker.
So I have here another Continuum Ag rock star, and I want him to introduce himself and what he's up to here today.
Hi, so I'm Brad McDonald. Nice to see everyone participating. I'm CEO of Continuum. I've been full-time since January, but I've been working with Mitchell for almost a year now. So pretty awesome stuff that's going on here. The big thing I want to hit on, and Mitchell's emphasized it a couple times, we have this application that's through Cisco, and basically they're a corporation that's trying to really push some of these climate change initiatives, and obviously our carbon sequestration is a big part of it. And so we were able to make a finalist, top 40 out of originally about 1,700 applicants. So now there's this thing called the popular vote, where it's a $10,000 award for for the most popular voting company. And so we're going to be sending out links after this to have everyone to go onto their website and actually vote for Continuum. It's basically you just scroll to our company, hit vote, and then you have to fill out your either Google application or whatever the process is. But it's $10,000. It'd be a huge help, and we really appreciate the support.
Okay, what are you planning to do with that? What does that $10,000 mean for Continuum, or what would it be earmarked for?
Yeah, so it's continual software updates, and so we're trying to make it as streamlined and easy as possible for farmers to be able to actually input their data and to eventually make real impact by tracking that data. And so it's
so my name is Sophia Miner. I am from Brighton, Iowa, which is just south of Washington, and I am the data analytics person for Michigan.
Fantastic. Would you say it's a little humid today?
Yeah, it's a little hot out today.
I'd say we probably went through like 47, 11 cases of water.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I think we've got a lot of positive energy. You guys have done a fantastic job.
Thank you.
We couldn't even look halfway cool if you guys didn't do this. So we've got one more. Emma, do you have a last one?
I'm at Ehlers.
Oh, fantastic. Now, Emma, where are you from?
From Edgewood in Iowa, Northeast Iowa.
Do you go to college?
I do go to college.
This is happening.
Yeah, I'll be graduating from Iowa State this December with an ag business degree.
Fantastic.
What are you doing with Continuum? I'm actually the project lead intern, so I'm working on these big carbon projects that we'll be talking about later today with the panel.
Hi.
So, Joni, tell us your name, the rest of it.
Joni, I'm a sheriff. My full name.
That's why I let her say it.
What do you do with Continuum Ag so that our viewers at home know who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so I am the lead design traditional design UI UX designer. So I make all the flyer range and mock-ups, so I can make sure Mitchell's vision becomes a reality on our platform and usable and as easy on the eyes.
Wow.
Easy on the eyes. How much does this cost? I think I need some of that.
I got you. Let's talk later.
What do you do with Continuum Ag?
I'm the plumber.
The plumber?
I write software.
Yeah, when
I make stuff flow.
Awesome. That is amazing. We've been talking about topsoil all day today and how we can continually utilize this tool to integrate everything we've learned. And here we have the author of the very tool, the plumber. I love that.
So you may or may not have deduced that I'm Christy Apple. I go by Crop Scout Christy on my social media handles, on the Twitter, on the Insta, on the Facebook, all the things. My mission and why I am actually here today is my agronomy journey has always been soil focused. I was not a traditionally trained agronomist like most crop and soil science majors are. Mine came from a vocational training. And so now fast forward that into my career and my path where I'm at today. I've been in this industry now for 12 plus years. And this has been a really interesting path to go down. I'm serving clients in all kinds of specialty markets, which is very different than what we heard today. A lot of the farmers that we heard from today, a lot of the people we interacted with today are doing more traditional row crop and integrating regenerative or cover cropping programs into those. I work with a lot of specialty crop farmers, vegetables, greenhouses, hops, hemp, cannabis, fruit, vegetables, you name it, on top of your traditional row crops. So I have a lot of different things that I'm doing in these different permanent crop situations that is really fun, especially with the cover crop and the nurse crop type of approach. So anyway, I'm Crop Scout Christy, and thank you so much for listening to me babble on today.
Born and raised in Ohio. I did not grow up in necessarily the ag community on a large scale. My family did farm. We also did excavating, put in septics and things. So I learned about soils early on in life, a lot about soil hydraulics, the functions, and then about equipment. I did a lot with farm equipment, and my job is just to keep going. As life went on, I actually went to school to become a diesel mechanic. Worked field service, worked for Caterpillar, John Deere. Again, I was keeping you guys going, keeping your air conditioners on, and your tractors and combines working good, and dozers, etc. So early on, I always knew I was a troubleshooter, and I love working with people and building relationships. So I broke my neck, went paralyzed in 2015, and so life changed for me. When you're laying on your back, there's only one way to look, and you start to look at life differently. And I established what my baseline was and started out. I didn't know what I was going to do. I couldn't mechanic anymore. In my previous life, mechanicking, yes, that sounds right. I had to troubleshoot. In other words, what makes sense, what doesn't, what's the best return on investment, that sort of thing. And tried to sell equipment, did that for about a year. I do talk a lot, but I didn't do as well with the selling aspect because I was there to troubleshoot farmers, or not really farmers, sometimes farmers with bulldozers and tractors. But my job was to keep them going, help them make the best amount of money. And I really want to get back towards the ag. Okay, I ended up in Tennessee for a little while, back at 16, and came across an ag company, worked for them for a little bit. Really wanted to get into independent crop consulting, and so used Google, started Googling what an independent crop consultant was. I didn't want to sell anything. I wanted to help minimize risk, figure out the do's and don'ts, and learn a lot about agronomy. I have to tell you that in 2016, I barely knew what a pH was. I knew what pH looked like. I couldn't read a soil test. I couldn't tell you the difference between calcium and magnesium. But I knew historically, growing up, all the seed salesmen, the seed reps, fertilizer reps, those guys that would come around, they would always tell you, well, it needs to be this, it needs to be that. And so I knew enough to get myself in trouble. But with not really knowing enough about it, I was dangerous. In other words, I could go speak to people, but I would quickly show that I didn't have a clue. Well, I got tied up with Brookside Laboratories. I got brought into that with Nestor Ag out of Western Ohio. They gave me my first step into this independent crop consulting. That started independently in, I guess, the end of 16. And so you do the math, end of 16. So about 5 years now I've been doing this, working in 5 states. I work with everything from small grain up to more high-end production, hemp, tobacco, fruits, and some fruit trees and things like that. So very wide scale. I met Mitchell Hora, Continuum Ag, about the same time I got into Brookside. Mitchell was just coming out of college. I was just trying to figure out what in the world a soil test was. And we just started to build relationships and got in that community. I wish I would have to college for agronomy. Very thankful for colleges, the effort they put in. There's a lot of things I didn't have to unlearn, a lot of things I didn't have to forget. So I was very open. So many of you that may be watching today think, well, where do I fit in all this? I'm going to tell you right now, if you have an interest and want to make a difference, make a change, I don't care, small scale, big scale, a garden, a flower pot, a bucket, maybe you're just selling something as far as insurance or wanting to get more into ag investment. if there's a will, there's a way. And all of us have always heard that, I'm sure. And if you'll stick with it, you'll go places. Be humble, be willing to speak with people. Don't be afraid to say, hey, I don't know. I can tell you right now, I drew this little black box around. This baby saves my life. I don't know, but I have the numbers. The relationship, the community that we built with Topsoil, Continuum Ag, it just kept snowballing. Rick and Liz Haney have been a great impact on me and many others that are in this group. Mark Dodd, there's so many names I can sit here and pinpoint. And I'm sure somebody's going to yell at me because I didn't say their name. Even Brian Hora, getting to sit down and meet the Horas and learn their journey, their stories. Through the failures has been my experience that I've learned what I have and gotten to where I am, and became more comfortable with making decisions. So as I own my own company, Sustainable Legacy Consulting, I'm on Instagram, soil_life _SLC. I am also the TACD, Tennessee Soil Health Specialist. So I work with producers from Memphis all the way to Bristol, Jellicoe to Chattanooga, whether that's in urban areas with greenhouses, you name it, pastures. And it's really awesome to be able to scale and measure and help people figure out their baseline. You guys have heard me talk a lot today. My favorite thing to say is, what is your baseline? My job is not to tell you what to think. My job is to make you think. And that's what's got me here. That's what's got me continuing this journey. We all have bad days, but I don't think there's a day that I wake up when I have a producer or work with a producer, take a phone call, that I don't get energy from that. Whether I know the answer, I've heard it before, or we got to go find it, play seek and hide and seek, or seek or find, or however you call it. It's great because I get energy helping other people. And for me, this regenerative cycle and fitting it into that ROI, because telling me money to pay bills. So, or not pay bills, invest in other things, really has kept me in this. So that's me.